News Center Maine is partnering with the Maine-Monitor to bring you some of the reporting being done by journalists at the nonprofit independent publication. We are featuring one of their stories each Monday. Today, we are talking about training teachers in Maine. In 2023, 3 of Maine's teacher preparation programs got Fs for how they prepared future educators to teach reading. The report, which was published by the National Council on Teacher Quality, came at a time when reading scores on national tests were in decline and amid a broader debate on how schools should best teach children how to read. Here to talk about this report and how these 3 universities are addressing literacy is Christian Moravec, who covers education and workforce development for the Maine-Monitor. Christian, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the breakdown for this report. What were some of the findings here?
Right, so this think tank, which is based in Washington, D.C., evaluated hundreds of teacher preparation programs across the country. And really what it looked at was looking through coursework information, such as syllabi. It evaluated how these programs were preparing teachers to use some pretty key foundations in reading. And these foundations can include understanding how letters work, how they work in words, how words work in sentences, and so on. And it was able to evaluate 3 programs in Maine. That is at the University of Maine in Orono, University of Maine at Farmington, and the University of Southern Maine. And it gave these programs poor ratings because it argued that these programs weren't effectively teaching these components. And I even spoke with the president of this organization, and she also pointed to Maine's declining test scores on national standardized tests, and suggested that these are also pieces of evidence that show that teachers aren't adequately prepared to teach children to be successful in reading.
How did these universities respond to this? And at this point, how are they preparing their educators to teach reading?
So I spoke with 2 universities that outright refuted the report. That would be UMaine and University of Southern Maine. They said that this F grade is not an accurate reflection of how they're preparing their future educators for the field. USM in particular said that they were caught by surprise. They said that in terms of how they're preparing their future educators, they are teaching these core components of reading, and that they are emphasizing best practices. UMaine said something similar, that they are constantly adapting because research and what is considered best practice will update over time. And they also want to make sure that their students are thinking critically about the types of materials that they are utilizing in the classroom. Even if it's not a best practice, they want to make sure that they're prepared to encounter those in the field, even outside of their teacher preparation programs. I did speak with University of Maine Farmington. Even though they didn't outright refute the report, they did emphasize that their program has a good reputation. They said that they are teaching those core components that this national council used to grade programs. And it also said that it's constantly evolving to meet the needs of Maine teachers and Maine students.
Interesting to hear all the different responses there. All right, Christian Moravec, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And you can read the full story and much more at the-maine-monitor.org.